muddy ground, the muddy ground. I'm waiting for you. You say what you found on the muddy ground was waiting for you. I'm left here with you. And you say that what I found on the money ground was left here by you. I stayed on the muddy ground, the muddy ground. You stayed on the muddy ground, the muddy ground.
Oh, that's a great song. I figured it goes with the topic. The Charlatans, Muddy Ground. Charlatans, UK. Great band, been around for 30. Geez, I started listening to them in high school, senior year. For all you young guys, that was 1989. Christian, Henny, Nino, Gerald, Denny, good to see you and everybody else listening. Rode the canyon today. Again, 4 miles up, 1,500 feet. Beat it by 2 minutes. Came down the hill, or the single track, which that is a very small little trail. It hits a waterfall, very technical. But I put in my head, all would go well, and I would make it back down with no issues. No issues. Figured I'd shake things up today with a little different background. The little ukulele is actually called a cuatro. It's from Venezuela that I brought back 30-something years ago, and I know how to play it. Anyhow, good to see everyone. Betty saw Elon drop the bomb. I saw that today. You know, who knows? It could be a complete stunt. But when egos get involved, walk away. And that's basically the whole topic today, and I'll talk about it. Mr. Timmy Kramer, God whispered in my ear and told me do not get married. The forever bachelor, dealing with the gold diggers in Scottsdale. Scottsdale for 300, Trebek. Gold diggers for 600. Let your muddy water clear up on its own. You know who said that really? Alan Watts. He basically said, let the muddy water, leave it alone. Let it clear up on itself, right? And so many times, we'll give some examples of this. And I've tried to fight against lots of things in life, and I always end up losing in a lot of ways. Not because it's the energy I'm giving off, right? I'm trying to fix things that kind of are unfixable. I'm trying to change the projection on the movie screen when I really need to change the projector or the film in the projector, right? We've all been there. We've all tried to make shit happen, force things. Even back in the day, finding a girl in high school and wanting her to like us, we try to force all this shit. And eventually, she probably doesn't like us and moves on. It's when we just allow and walk away. So if you've ever taken a science experiment, Pete, good to see you. Clear water allows you to see what's coming, what's ahead. Don't muddy the waters. Well said. You ever seen a pond and the muddy water, someone gets in or a rock gets in and it just starts dissipating all that mud to the top. And it's like, man, that shit ain't ever going to clear out. But 2 days later, all that mud settles back. It's clear as day. And I think a lot of times we spend a lot of our time, even coming out of relationships or dealing with life in general, we try to clean the muddy water the moment it gets muddy. And if we just walk away for a couple days, couple hours, who knows, it'll clear up on its own. if we're not trying to force it, right? So I got a couple stories of my own personal life based on that, and we'll get into it. Elon Musk spends more time. He's just an interesting dude, man. I mean, there's value. It's just all ego at this point. Women don't want me or need me, and likewise, I did everything a man can do, but nothing was worth the effort. I always fell short. Results were looked and not my efforts. Well, you can rest assured that you're not in, there's a lot of guys that were not valued, even in marriages and relationships, and that's just life. We just have to accept it and move on. So there was a time I was on my wife was 2 months for the second. So this is 2001. May of 2001. I was working for a company called Verado. It was an Enron affiliate. You guys remember Enron? Those guys, and they made a document. They all went to jail. They had the weirdest accounting that went on. But anyhow, we got all these stock options. It never amounted to anything. The only thing I got is a certificate. I could probably sell it on eBay, a stock certificate for like $10 or something. So that was, they laid us all off. Enron basically, they delisted them. It became a whole scandal. They basically closed our office down, gave us 2 months of salary and a bonus. I mean, it was actually a pretty good deal, but there's no insurance. So, health insurance in the United States is really important because, we need our kid to be born. We would have had to pay it out of pocket. It wouldn't have been that bad compared to what today's rates are. But, I was a little nervous. I already have one kid that's 2 years old. I've got one coming. There's a lot of shit that can go wrong with the pregnancy. And I was stressing out. Called a couple of my friends. I called a broker, health insurance broker. But she was pregnant. It was a pre-existing condition at that point, and so it was a little difficult to find insurance. So I said to myself, I'm trying to do everything, just trying to fix it. She's worried. Her hormones out of control. We're going to have the baby. It's going to come, but we're going to have to figure out a way to get it taken care of, right? Get our doctors paid, get the hospital paid, and so forth. And it was like a Thursday night, and I just said, you know what, F it. I'm not even going to worry about it this weekend. We got 2 months to go. She's in her third trimester or whatever. I'm just not going to mess around with it. Just not going to think about it. Just going to focus on the 2-year-old, focus on mowing the lawn, whatever. That was my muddy water. Monday morning comes around. I get a call from an old company I had interviewed with like 6 months before that. Totally forgot about it. And they said, hey, are you still interested in working? And I said, you know what? Absolutely. It was a good company and software, medical software. They said, look, we have a new requisition open and you come highly recommended. Let's do a quick interview. Did a quick interview. I interviewed the next day with his boss. They gave me the job. And it was more money and better insurance than where I just came from. There's something about letting go, walking away, and letting the dust settle back that's important. I'm sure a lot of you guys have had very similar situations. And that's what we got to do. But sometimes it's tough because our little monkey mind ego gets in the way and we don't know what to do. We're trying to figure out everything, uncover every rock, talk to every person. And sometimes we just walk away. Shit'll happen. I didn't do anything to make it happen. I couldn't even remember the company. But somehow that detachment from outcome and just not thinking about it opened up this weird cosmic algorithm that brought in a phone call. And I started work the next week. Well said. Focus on yourself, not your ex. Wolf King, good to see you, brother. So another example was Einstein. When Einstein, smartest guy in the world at that point, when he always had solution. I mean, so smart he couldn't tie his shoes. I mean, think about that. So smart he couldn't tie his shoes. But he was so smart. He'd say when he did the E equals MC squared theory of relativity. He said he couldn't figure it out, and he kept trying and trying and trying, and then he just said, F it. and then went for a long walk and didn't do anything the next day and the next day, and the answer came to him. So when we just detach from certain things, and I know it's hard, and I know we want to fix shit, those are when we get the biggest breakthroughs. So that's what I was thinking today. Let your muddy water clear up on its own. If you try to clean that muddy water, it's just going to get even muddier, right? It could be anything. Issues with kids, issues with exes, issues with work, issues with parents, brothers, sisters, issues with your house. Sometimes just walking away is the best solution, and letting those answers come in some form or another. Every time I lose something in the house, like, one time I lost my watch. It wasn't lost. I just misplaced it, or my keys. I'm like, where the hell did I put them? I always say, there's nothing lost in divine mind or divine universe. And I always find them. Like, they pop up. It's just, there's something about letting go. So I don't want this to be a philosophical discussion about the universe and, chakras and all that stuff. But there's value in just walking away and just saying F it. Just giving no Fs. Shit happens. Wolf, I call them hot potato moments, something that stresses you out. I sleep on it, take care of it tomorrow. There you go. Same thing. And as you get older, guys get older, this becomes more, we can live this more. As a 20-year-old, 25-year-old, we want, that ego is out of control. It's on roids. We got egos on roids at this point. We want to fix everything. We want to be billionaires overnight, like Boiler Room, right? So that's what we do. We just let the universe, let it be. Another real good friend of mine in Oregon, he has a physical therapy business, and he's a BMXer. He rode professional BMX bikes for Haro or Rhino or some PK Ripper, Redline. No, he rode for Redline. If you guys remember Redline. So he was all in the physical therapy business, and he gets business clients. And he said he was struggling for like a month. Their sales were down, and he didn't know what to do. He kept calling, I'm going to call more and more. I'm going to send out map marketing. I'm going to force everything for the universe to come about. Well, nothing happened. And he had a BMX exhibition down in San Diego at the Woodward Park. And so he went down with his buddy for 4 days, completely forgot about what he was doing at work, just was in the moment, living his life, biking, hanging out with his buddies. He comes back. The day after he gets back, he's got 25 people that booked appointments out of the blue. And these appointments are $200 to $300 a piece, right? He's like, wow, geez, Louise. I mean, that was huge. Within those 3 or 4 days, 25 people called the phone up. And it comes back to the whole idea. Don't try to clear up muddy water. Let it settle on its own. Enough of my stories. Vita Sanchez, how are you? She's off to Spain soon. Good to see you. Christian, Trump's tariffs are nuts. Well, again, we got to let that water settle. What are we going to do about it? Mysterio, if we look at our lives, we are meant to interact with lots of people, divorce, marriage, and kids. Family, friends, work are the characters in our own personal play. Channeling a little Shakespeare. Shakespeare said, every actors come and go in our lives. You could look at exes, you could look at people in your lives that let you down as actors who are playing a specific role to help you improve. Well said, the mighty Mysterio from Winnipeg. Missed you on the last live stream. So there we are, speaking today about life, maybe some nuggets of wisdom, things we learn about, hot potato moments, right, Wolf? Experiences. Sounds like when I get stuck on trying to get ideas, I just go into the woods and chill, sit for a bit, hike, and the answer of some kind. Absolutely. Man, when you quit thinking, I think thinking in a lot of ways could be the enemy. So if we just stop trying to make shit happen things could work out in our favor. Looking, testosterone boosts your metabolism. Yeah, good for you for going no fap. I think that's great. I'll be leaving this week. Been busy getting ready for my trip and more. You'll have to share your exciting trip all the way to Spain. Mr. John Boston, the legendary John Boston, with his friend who is literally the dynamic Shallow Hal, the real Shallow Hal. All the world's indeed a stage, and we are merely players. What song was that? It's got to be like some classic rock song. Maybe it's Captain Beefheart and his Magical Friends or Television. I think that's more of, isn't that a Shakespeare? I think Shakespeare said that, something similar to that. Mysterio, we tank our lives too much, and society wants it that way for some reason. Right. Sometimes the best thing to do is just do nothing. Right? Do nothing. It's another way to look at life and people. They're just actors in your play. They're given a specific script that they read or they act out, and we act against it or for it or what have you. Mr. Wolf, no surprise from that comment. Oh, Rush, Limelight. I would have said that. I was close. Classic band. Mr. Geddy Lee, the most attractive bassist in the history of metal. Your cabinets behind you seem bare bones. Pretty much. Yeah. You see that little, this guy right here? Looks like a little camera with the little brown. That's an old video camera. It has no batteries. My grandfather gave it to me. They shot 8 or 16 millimeters on it. Still works. I think it's 1942. I think it looks cool. I got my little mallet I made in wood shop in 7th grade. Certain little things. It's got to look like that for people that want to buy houses. Mr. Char in the house. Good to see you, brother. Stay in the river of peace. Once you're out of it, you stress and get effed up by it. It's an imagination thing. Try it. I mean, this goes into a lot of different situations. I mean, even the boxers and MMA guys, they will get rid of everything outside of focusing on their training. They get rid of the women. I think Floyd Mayweather always breaks up with the women if he's got a huge fight for 9 to 12 months before that. They don't deal with anything but straight focus. They don't want those muddy waters. I saw this meme with a man, and he had a home and children around him. And there's the woman with the phone in her hand and a book, and the title of the book was Fantasy. There you go. See, there's never, in the most part, 98% of women are always seeking the fantastical version of a man that does not exist. Why do relationships not work out? Because that man does not exist that they want. Oh, they say they want a 6'6", 6-figure, 6-pack. Fine, that's great. We want a very thin, 110, beautiful woman that takes care of herself. That's not masculine. That's not aggressive. That's not our version of fantasy. That's just a reality that at one point we wanted. But the version that women want starts really young. And unfortunately, they make it up. A lot of, 98% of them make it up in their head that it's a guy that doesn't exist. You have to accept that. If the guy exists, he does exist. Schwarzenegger, Brad Pitt, basketball players, and they all get divorced too. Thanks, Wolf. What's the word on the house? It's been on the market. I had 2 showings this week. We'll see. Again, I'm not trying to rush it. I'm not trying to force it. It is what it is. I'm supposed to be here for some reason. I'm supposed to be here, right? Not going to rush it, not going to give it away, not going to force it. I'll let the universe decide when I'm not supposed to be here. But I love the house. It's wonderful. I'll have to give you guys a tour of it sometime. Mr. One Mighty and Strong, good to see you, brother. Buddy Guy next week. Good. Guess who I'm seeing tomorrow? OMD. My buddy got me ticket. He got tickets. His wife can't go. He said, come with me. Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. Europe, good to see you, brother. It's that dopamine hit. Dealing with the woman is higher than our own personal development. Sure. There's nothing wrong with getting as a young man being ultimately bamboozled by the beauty and charm of a woman. I mean, if you weren't, you'd be very ascended to a grand master of Buddhism, or you play for the other team. And so we have to remind ourselves that beneath the charm and the beauty and the good looks is our purpose. And if we allow the beauty and charm and good looks to take over our purpose, then it can destroy our lives. Dear Hoof, drummer's a man. That sounds like he'd be a crazy drummer. She marries Beta Brad and Chad is getting the box for free, or she marries Chad and wants to charge him. Either way, the Chad suffer too, and the Beta suffer. Go watch the movie Sex Life on Netflix. Simple Minds, my buddy just went to Colorado, flew out. That's who I'm going to see tomorrow. He's all in the midlife crisis, seeing all the 80s bands. He saw Simple Minds in Denver last week. I would have liked to have seen Simple Minds. Mr. Travis in the house. Good to see you, brother. Hope you are well. Tell me how life is with you. Phoenix is back. Good to see you. So OMD in London, 78. Ooh. They got some good hits. I'm hoping it's going to be a good show tomorrow. They're playing at a cool place where I saw Echo and the Bunnymen last year. Actually, we saw Echo and the Bunnymen June 4th last year. We're seeing OMD June 6th. Almost a year later with at the same venue. I don't have problems dating women. They treat you only good if she sees your value higher than hers. It's all psychology, folks. It's all psychology. The person who cares less always maintains the power. Ghost Pirate, good to see you. How are you doing? I see your vids and I look at myself. I feel like we are younger than our parents, and that's not a knock on our parents. Oh, my dad broke his back in his 40s, and he always seemed older for some reason. My brother's 14 months older than me, and he looks like he's 65. I tell myself every day I'm 17. That's what I love that year. I mean, I still love myself. OMD was from when I was 17. Yeah, you look pretty young, Mysterio. I've seen Duran Cranberries live, Morrissey and Foxwood. Yep, saw Morrissey. He's coming again. He's going to be on another tour in the fall. He'll play Salt Lake. But I've seen Morrissey a ton. Saw Simple Minds in 97, Orpheum Theater in Boston. There you go. In Excess. I never saw In Excess. I would have loved to have seen them. Their early stuff is so good. I'm now 40 years old and look younger, maybe 30. It's about taking care of yourself, really. I mean, have you seen, what's his name? The guy from Jared Leto. Good to see who in the chat. Jared Leto, he's a year older than me. That guy looks like he hasn't aged in 25 years. Apparently he doesn't smoke, drink, do drugs. He goes to bed at 8 o'clock he's got some whacked out routine, but it's all about what you think. Everything's a creation of our consciousness. If she has a 4 out of 10, she wants an 8 out of 10. There you go. You got to understand that. There's nothing you can do to fix it. Let that muddy water settle on its own in their own world. You walk away. Paul Weller from the Style Council and the Jam. He just came. He's getting a little wacky with his politics, though. I don't like that. Well, you should be getting it for free. You guys are going nuts. When I fast, I look out. Yeah, fasting. I just got off a 20-hour fast. I did a 24. I mean, that is the quickest way to really get your health in shape. That's right. Well, I'm an Oregonian living in Utah, but well said, no one. The Pixies, Frank Black, Black Francis, On a Wave of Mutilation. One of my favorite songs, Timmy. Didn't the Pixies just come? I think somebody just saw them. A friend of mine. I think they came this year. Regarding your bro, I'm sure paying $8K a month in child blank has taken. Oh, geez. I don't know. No one hears from him. He's off in Simpland. He's the governor of Simpland. I've researched why the box is fish, high cortisol. Yeah. Stress. That anatomy is I mean, it's self-cleaning, but yeah, I won't get into that, but I think you're right. Frank Black was great. Black Francis. She doesn't like milk, but she is milking me daily. There you go. When I pump a jeez, come on, you waxos. I think fasting really made me look younger, and it's the only thing that got my weight under control. Not that I've been heavy all my life. Here's another example. Clearing up muddy water by fasting. Not trying to find the next pill, not trying to jump on a treadmill for 5 hours, just not eating. That's basically letting it clear up on its own. And it's even better. New to MGTOW says no one, the male mother need really impossible to get from a woman. There's a lot of male mothers out there, no one. Well said. Pixies, I didn't know they're from Boston. I thought they're from Chicago. I did a 3-day fast. It's much easier than when you're on a keto diet. Yeah. Keto's great. But 3-day fast, it's the first literally 32 hours. Once you get past that, you're not hungry. It's all psychological. Just drink your electrolytes. Self-cleaning. This week I did. So what I do, LFE, good to see you. Tell me where you're from. I will do, I do a water fast to about 5 o'clock p.m. So I'll start at 11. So I'll go 11 to 11:30, 24, 25-hour fast. But from 5 to 8, I dry fast. So I get 15 hours of a 24, which you still get great benefits. Bookshelf, good to see you. I'm a mudblood. There you go. I think a lot of it's high body count. Agree. Muggle dad or ma. I don't know what that means. Green juicing, meditation, jogging, looking good from attaboy. Walking an hour 4 days a week. It does wonders. Does wonders for you. Just walk at a decent pace. I think that your channel really has blown up in terms of the content. It's such a realistic vibe. No nonsense of burning desire, which no couple will be at 50 years of being a couple. Sure. Appreciate Mysterio been here from the get-go. Timmy Kramer, John Boston. Who else been here? Man, that woman, she's got insulin resistant based on those skin tags, Johnny. And she is not attractive, unfortunately. If it draws flies, don't close your eyes. Well, there's certain things that there's some women can't, they can't deal with that. Some have some challenge with their hormonal makeup. I say go off grid with your phone, computer for a month. Very healthy. Yeah. Turn your phone off for a weekend. See what happens. Water dry fast is the best. Yep. Typically when I do a 3-day, I've done a 2-day dry fast, 48-hour dry fast, no water, no food. And then the last day, a water fast. Thanks, Nino. Going to be 53. Fasting, I'm telling you. I think if I never fast, I would look my age, if not older. And I try to stay healthy, exercising, and so forth. Black seed oil is the best. I don't know much about black seed oil. John Boston walking 23 miles a week. Dude, that's great. It's like 3 miles a day, 7 days a week. Is it possible to get emotional support, emotional labor from the woman you date? I would not look for emotional. I think your emotional needs need to be met by yourself or your bros. You never ask a woman for that unless she's your mom. And if she's still your mom, you could have bad advice. Used to walk 48 hours. Attaboy. Good for you. It's all about health at this point. I don't care if you're 20 or 50 or 70. Work on your health. It'll pay off. It's the best thing you can do. It's cheaper than a hospital. Did a boneless onto the boulder and pooped off 80 style. There you go. Was it a front side boneless or a back side? Teddy Boy Smith, good to see you, brother, all the way from England. How you been? John's friend, heavy wife, must be some. Oh, you got to see that. You got to see that woman. It's a very interesting doctor. The guy is simp. He's got a SIM card with no expiration. Master P, what's up, brother? She is a run through. If a Honda Civic could talk, I think it's bad for women to have a lot of men. I don't think it's good for them. The high body count, it's not good. It's bad for pair bonding. Thanks, Nino. It's bad for everything. It's not good. There's literally a 1,000 blank stare from these women. Their eyes, you can tell that something is not right. I've seen them. Tom Laundry, good to see you, brother. Mr. Master P, turmeric and water, another solid thing. Add a little quarter teaspoon in. Well said, brother. Well said. Turmeric's got amazing properties. You don't need the pills. Just you can I would buy the deal and just you just have to drink it through a straw because it'll make your mouth all orange. Yeah, just deal with your bros if you're having a tough time. Call your buddy up. That's what I did with your divorce. I'd call my buddy up and he'd be like, "Shut the F up. You're fine, man. You're awesome." He talked me off the ledge in 3 minutes. He understood. I'd agree with that statement. Health and time. You do a dry fast and a water fast. That's incredible. How do you do with the cravings? I've been doing it for so long, John. It's just you get into it. You know. A frontside boneless attaboy. She got her money only through the government and child support, even to say she is strong and independent. A lot of them do use the government for that. A buddy told me his doctor put him on his Epic for 1 year. He's 12 doses in. What's Epic? Yep, can't pair bond. A lot of these women. Did you see the lady that had to go run to the hospital because she had relations with 600 men yesterday, or 543 men in 6 hours? SIM card with no expiration. I came up with that, by the way. Scotty did a video and I said that. Stinky pinkies. I used to say that in high school. I have realized that all women are crazy to some degree. Hot crazy matrix. He didn't lie, did he? If she's saying she is spiritual, big red flag. Oh, yeah. There's very few spiritual women that really understand it. I met a couple. Dead eyes. Yes, they are. You can tell, guys, you can tell if she has a high body count. Since you hike a lot, do you still have a check-in with friends? Yeah, but I do trails, Mysterio, that are frequented. But if I went somewhere, backwoods, absolutely, I would take a satellite phone and a beacon. Even the dumbest cartoon characters are SpongeBob and Patrick. There you go. I have seen John's friend's heavy wife. She should lose the weight. And she's just not a very attractive woman, man. Makeup does not, the word, yeah. Mighty and strong. In former times, a virgin was the standard to wed. Today, if she's had less than those guys, you think it's a win. There you go. Less than 10 guys. Yeah. If men would know how her body count goes up in a week. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's got to be Master P. I think Hammerhand did a post on her. Not today. Not going emotionally involved with women is the key to a peaceful life. Keep your emotions in check, guys. That's what gets people in trouble, especially men. No problem, bookshelf. Tom Laundry, high body count, that shouldn't matter. You insecure men. Well, you return and report. I understand you, Brother Rab, but most men can't sense the energy of people, so we can do it. We are called. Well, yeah, I think a lot of guys that are bamboozled by the charm and beauty of a woman would not know what to look for. Don't expect anything from a woman, at least the majority of them. Do you camp in Utah? I haven't been camping for a long time. It's probably been 6-7 years. I don't know, Mysterio. People say, does she have a 500 body count? I would say a lot of these women, before they get out of high school, maybe have a 15 to 20 body count. Maybe in college, it goes up. Who knows? but 500. There's a PUA coach on YouTube that says he's got like 2,000. And I don't believe that crap. I mean, that would be like 3 a day. I mean, you can't keep up with that. I agree. Max Factor started to make up Europe. I think we're in the last days. Time is speeding up and men and women are divided. Delart McGregor, you are not mistaken. I was telling Rad I went to their wedding. I saw congratulations to his dad, and he grabbed my hand and went up to my face and said, no comment. He was pissed. Yeah, he does some good stuff, Wolf, for sure. I haven't said abusive. One time, yeah, my ex would say, you're verbally abusive and controlling. That's interesting because every gal I've gone out with that's divorced said the same thing about her husband. Must be some sort of a page or a theme out of the biological programming guide for ladies. Or divorcing ladies. I'm blessed to be single after 2 times divorce, parental alienation. I'm very masculine and Chad, but my personality is very honest. I needed 6 years to restore myself mentally, physically, and financially. Please. It takes a while. When you give your heart, it takes a while because the investment, we have invested ourselves mentally and emotionally into somebody. And what happens is we don't want that investment to be negative. So it's hard but for the ex-wives and things, they just look at it as the next. It's not a big deal to them. So men struggle with the emotions and mental challenges of a broken relationship. Between college, only fans, cell phones, and internet, women will never return to being conservative. Well said. It's not going back. I mean, look at Forbes magazine. By 2030, 45% of women between 25 and 44 will be there'll be no kids or relationships. I mean, what does that tell you? You're always abusive and controlling if you hold them accountable or set boundaries, of course. Women say exes are controlling and abusive. They were married to men who said no and who had, yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. A lot of times they don't realize that they also have accountability as well. A buddy told me his doctor put him on Ozempic. Oh, that's what you're talking about. I don't think that's good. That's unless it was made for the original condition. I think it was diabetes, but yeah, that's not good. I would do it the old fashioned way. Work out, fast, eat well. Well said. A lot of men invest in females. Beta says, my brother says he will marry a nice Mormon woman. Even then, there's no guarantee. A lot of people are not keeping their covenant. Yeah, you're right. A lot of LDS women divorcing their husbands. Mm-hmm. It really doesn't matter, the Christian. I mean, there's a 1 to 2% of women that are decent women. I say 98%. Even religious women, 98% are not recommended. There's more value on a Mickey D's. There you go. You got that right. They did it themselves. I have married women texting me and complaining about her husbands. I tell them, make the guy a steak and be good to them. Guys, I've met some of these 1 to 2%ers. They're in our chats. But they're very, 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 very rare. I'm calling my mommy Wolf and send you home on the plane. You don't do what I tell you to. Mr. Mayor in the chat, good to see you, brother. Hope you are well. He's been around a while. I saw a thing about Ozempic giving people significant, yep. Jeez. Especially, have you seen the Ozempic face? So bone loss in your mouth. I sold dental for a while. A lot of them are, no one. I sold dental. And so if you extract a tooth, you need to put something where that extraction was. It's called a titanium post, an implant, where it's basically a metal rod and they just screw a fake tooth on it. Because the bone is always growing and continuing maintaining its composure. So when you see these meth faces and Ozempic faces, it's once your bone loss is gone, you're screwed. It's not good. I think you're right, Mysterio. Something about Eve's curse. Who knows? Even the 1% unicorn will change to a demon. Trust me, I was 2 times married to virgins from good families. Yeah, sure. I mean, the hive mind is very well and alive today. She is a good woman today. Oh, I love that. Oh, man, that was funny. She's a good woman today. Remember, always say in this moment. She loves me. In this moment, she does. Guys, stay away from married women. Nothing to be gained there. They are serious problems, and you don't want to end up leaking. Yeah, absolutely. Stay away. My ex was a Mormon and supposedly a minister's daughter. Don't ever get involved with either. Now, Christian women, a lot of them are not what they think. They hide behind the Bible. I know people are dealing with massive issues from the blank. Yep. Her husband objects to her having sex with other men. Abusive. He criticized her for wanting to sleep with other men. I mean, that should be a given. You're married. People need to look. They need to quit looking for quick fixes. That's what they need to do. That's the problem. Quick fix. Mr. Jared, good to see you, brother. Where you been? I haven't seen any streams with you for a while. It's called putting the fork down and moving more. Isn't it supposed to be a drug yeah, it's a diabetic drug. But somebody found out that you could lose a ton of weight and then you get the Ozempic face. Just Google Ozempic face. Good to see you, Jared. OG, Mr. Jared. Check out his channel. Does great stuff. That's another way to keep people. Guys, I just take supplements. DHEA, Tonkat Ali, vitamin D, vitamin B, saw palmetto, and magnesium. Basically, be evil, King Evil. Well said, Mysterio. You evil man, Mr. Father Saunders. Yeah, Jared's got to get back in the lazy chair. Rad, I think you're a lot of men, you and a lot of men here that got married and divorced is the norm, being married for 50 plus years. Yeah, absolutely. It's normal. Most men will go through something of a breakup or a separation. Yeah, there's a lot of issues who I think, did you have to get it for work? I can't remember. I had a nightmare with a demon woman with a guy snarling at me, looking like Venom from Spider-Man, bugged out. There you go. Be careful. Take your magnesium, sleep better. Adrian, good to see you. Start a fat camp. There you go. Jared says, I'm around. We get to a point where there's not a lot to say anymore. We've said a lot, right? We've said a lot. Update, friend's wife cheats with boss. Husband finds out. Boss dumps her to save his marriage. Divorce coming. Oh, geez. Does that not just seem like the article of the day in most towns? Okay. Complex. Gotcha. It's helped me with sleep. I'll tell you what I've been taking lately. Saw palmetto. For us older men, when the vas deferens starts thinning out, you get, you got to pee more. It's helped it's a game changer. Fasting is free. Well said. Even with fasting, it helped, but I actually had a pain from my snip 20 years ago. I always had kind of a lurking pain when I did my first 3-day dry fast. Yes, I did a 3-day 72. It went away. Never been back. But the thinning vas deferens, because of my age, and anybody over 40 is going to start seeing some prostate challenges. That's just the aging piece. Saw palmetto has been a game changer. I no longer have gotten up for the last week. I have not had to get up in the night to go to pee-pee. Oh, gotcha. I see what you mean. Just say no to all that crap. Well said. Metal Gear, good to see you. Okay, good. I'm glad you don't have that. You just got the symptoms. I got it. I remember I got it in 2022, and it was a sore throat, but it wasn't strep throat, and it was so bad. People had other thing like fatigue. I didn't have the fatigue. I just could not swallow. I was down in like 25 ibuprofens, which probably took 20% of the pain away. It sucked. Nothing worked. I'm telling you, I'll just say Wuhan. I ate a gelato last night, could not sleep good. What kind of gelato? Pistachio? Send me a link for that. I do a lot of vitamin D high doses. I haven't been sick ever since I started high dose in vitamin D. So, well, Linda Carter was married to her husband died. They were married 42 years. So she must have had a good marriage. She didn't play the Hollywood game. She's a very attractive woman, very liberal now, but very attractive. Sam Fisher, good to see you, brother. Turmeric I do. Yep. Maybe turmeric's been part of it. But anyhow, guys, there's things we can do to have good health for free or for very little money. You can't swallow dairy when your throat is sore. You can't. Sam Fisher, appreciate you, brother. A lot of fasting, a lot of working out. And you know what? This is probably based on not dealing with stress, you know? Honey water, just fine. There you go. ME. Yeah, I know people that take a shit ton of it. I don't take too much more than what I should be doing. I think I take 20,000 a day. I know people taking 70, 80. And it's like, unless you had some gnarly disease, no, I'm fine. But I haven't been sick, no sore throats, nothing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, some of those side effects, man, weren't good. Could be Europe. The prostate needs to clean its pipes out. Go to any proctologist. What will they say? You need to clean your pipes out. Guys that have, cobwebs in their pipes are going to have prostate issues. Stress is the ultimate deleter. Well said. Gym rat, whole life, 59. My quality of life is great. You know what? Awesome. I know you're a big bodybuilder. What I like, I go 3 days a week. I do crunches, squats, dips. I quit doing chest, bench chest. If I can't get on the dip machine, I might do incline dumbbells, but I don't do any more flat bench. And my dips have, number one, they chisel me a lot better. They're working those and I do rows, dips, lats, scrunches, squats, and I ride my bike, and that's it. And walking fast. That's it. And I think I'm in great shape. My waist is 32. So there's something about putting muscle on your body. They say those that get really sickly in life are not working their muscles. Your longevity in life, a lot of it is due to having muscle. Be fun to have a big old party on the beach down in Mexico. A flock of bats enter the room and takes human form and says, "You summoned humans." What's that movie about that? The Jersey Devil. She loves you, but she also loved the 20 guys. There you go. But this channel, we talk a lot about all sorts of things. It's basically a men's health channel. Mental health, financial health, spiritual health, physical health. What can we do to have less stress and to have a better opportunity at life? You're a definite true believer in the lifestyle, but hey, the bonus is a couple of them women in Lululemons. Just be careful of their phones. I just go and I do my thing there, 35 minutes, then I go to the sauna for 30. Oh, another thing, I love the sauna 4 days a week. I literally do 30 minutes in the sauna. I'm cooked like a goddamn bacon. And then I do 6 laps in the pool, and I do the laps just to stretch my muscles out. I don't have any more back problems. I used to swim all the time in Oregon. And then I'd spend 15 minutes in the hot tub. And all of that is usually about an hour and 40 minutes. But man, it's great. I think that blank were created because women that married pulled away from their men physically. It's really never the other way around. Yeah, absolutely. What do they say? Marriage is the quickest form to celibacy. No one says fasting heals most things. Absolutely. If you guys want to understand fasting, go listen to Phoenix Protocol. They do 7-day dry fasts and what they've been. Phoenix Protocol on YouTube. He actually shows him doing, and he's like 65. She says she loves you to get your resources. Well, you got to have a hook. You got to have some bait, right, to catch the fish. I've noticed I'm a lot weaker now. My shoulders are narrowed, but I'm sick of it all. Time to just start doing push-ups, man. Push-ups and pull-ups. If she sees you as your best option, she will stay, and you must be. That's a thing, right? She's not yours. She's just her turn. But you're right, Europe. She's always looking at the better option. Okay, that's just biology. That's hypergamy. That is wired in them. If you become a loser, she's going to want to bail. But it's also the pressure of men trying to be her best option 24/7 for the next 20 years is a pressure that is a feat you'll never be able to deal with. That's going to be very difficult to maintain her attraction doing that. There you go, like Rambo. Rambo First Blood. How many times you work out in a week, Brother Rad? At least 3 days at the gym, 2 days on the bike, typically 2 days, and then 1 day of rest. I do like to hike. Some days I'll work out in the morning and then do a hike to the waterfall, so I get a nice leg workout as well, and I won't do squats that day. That Riga that stole your bike. That is a funny handle. Tell me where you're from, brother. Rad, your life is stress-free for the most part. My life is so far, unless I start thinking about having some sort of girlfriend. I mean, it happens. Batty Commander, good to see you. Yeah, moving, even working, moving around. If you got jobs that require movement, construction, lifting shit, that's also good. That's a workout in itself for 8 hours a day. Let's see, man. You guys are just be Chad. No point in trying otherwise. It's tough to maintain a woman's attraction for so long. It really is. Our grandparents maybe had it, but they didn't divorce because they decided not to divorce. They would go through marriage. A lot of them were miserable. Let's be real. 90s rappers were all about the biatches. NWA for 300. I Renegade. Good to see you, brother. Hope you have a good summer. We're just starting. Sam getting rid of the ladies in his life. We have to have a Total Rad Fitness show from supplements and fasting. Yeah, we should have a panel. Bring on Mayor Bodybuilding, JC from Texas, and anyone that's into good health and good, what they take for supplements. That'd be great. Mainstream noticing men are walking away. I think men are getting to the point where they can't clear the muddy waters. And they're like, you know what? This doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I mean, there's value in the red pill, but sometimes we have to talk about other things. And I think being red pilled in a lot of ways has to do with our health, our physical, financial health, our spiritual health, not buying into the lies. There you go. Road paving, man. Just like Cool Hand Luke. There's always going to be a better Chad. Well said, Europe. See, guys want to be these Chads. It's like there's always a better one. There's always someone that's going to be better. He's going to be taller, stronger, more aggro, more masculine. Do you think they smoke in outer space or they AstroTurf? That's a funny joke, Tom. That must be Bob Hope over there. That's why we do it, guys. There's certain things that you can do and learn from us older guys that have been through it, that have learned to manage emotional states. That's the biggest thing men need to understand. Manage your emotional state. Muddy Waters, there you go. Good band. Oh, they were probably getting some poon. We could probably sell fasting in a bottle. They do. They sell electrolytes for fasting. And they sell these little packets built for fasting. Men putting themselves first. Attaboy. That's what we do. Muddy Waters is old school. Is he still around, the lead singer? You got small town Chad and big city Chad. You sure do. Well, I think we're waking up to reality. We're waking up to the fact that if we can't go through life and have a beautiful family with kids and a loving wife, because the reality is most likely there's going to be a divorce. It's a high percentage. So what do? Focusing on something that will potentially blow up in your face, or focusing on you? It'll be interesting, no one. I'm looking at right now a Fidelity fund, S&P fund. It's a little high up. I bought it. It dropped back when 6-8 weeks ago when it hit 36,000 the Dow. I'm waiting. I think it's going to drop again. That's just my thoughts. Uncontrolled emotions will destroy men. Well said, Renegade. Women used to use laxatives to lose weight. My mom did. I remember laxative in the kitchen cupboard. It also means don't live in her delusional fantasy that doesn't exist. Well said. And men don't really understand this. They can't get to the point where they get this until they've gone through it. Realist Vision, I'm trying to understand your ideology. So do you believe in short-term or just hookups? Just wondering as you advise against long-term. Long-term will always bore the woman and it'll always create nagging. So there's opportunity for, well, my original was always, 3 throws and you're done. But that even comes with reward and risk now. That's, 6 years into my channel's been around since 19. So I've changed a lot of things. You got to be very, 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 very strategic in who you want to hang out with. I'm not saying don't have a girl. There are men in this chat that have long-term girlfriends. They don't live with them. They don't marry them. They don't have kids with them. They don't provide resources, or do it the Jonathan Noble way, which is just that. I don't run on treadmills. I walk on them when I go to the gym for 5 minutes. That's it. I'm honest. 90% of all women I had are single mothers. They're the big, absolutely. I can attest to that. This channel is post red pill, very calm. But I mean, there's really nothing we can do. You can't hate reality, biology, right? Well said, Metal Gear. You just can't hate women. I mean, it is what it is. They are them. We are us. Never be able to understand them. Might think we can, but I'd rather understand myself around ladies than understanding a woman. Recede in less than 24 hours. Yeah, I've had a lot of things, even fasting, cure up within the 12, 20-hour fast. There you go. Why are they so slutty and easy to talk to? Because they can. Because men will allow it. You're right. Couple needs space. I think some of my buddies that are still married, the guy's always traveling, so she misses him. I'll serve your ass like John McEnroe. John McEnroe. He was an angry elf, wasn't he? Right? He was an angry elf. This channel is post. Hey, Bobby, good to see you. Well, treadmills are good if you live in a rainy climate or a real cold climate. At least you can move. My sister lost a lot of weight walking an hour a day on a treadmill up in, she's got 5 kids. But I'd get really bored of it quick. Bring a fistful of dollars to the JUCO. Coach Greg Adams. That's another thing. When you got peace leave on the brain, you're going to do stuff like that. You're still spending money for it. Nino says, broads dress slutty for Halloween to indulge into their fantasy out in public. I would never. That, especially in Utah with the Mormons. Oh, they go crazy. Halloween, they go nuts. They turn into devilish women. Seriously. Nurses with the costumes are very slutty. All right, good to see you too. Bobby says, in Japan, they have a tradition where men give all of their wages to their partner, and in return, she gives him an allowance and pocket money. No wonder their birth rate is in decline. I would not do that. Again, based on transactions, it never bodes well. I run on a train. Attaboy. Uh-huh. Oh, let me know when you're going to be here if I'm still here. Halloween mode made them look, I mean, especially in Utah, they go nuts at Halloween. Nuts. Like, this is the biggest holiday in the state. Something about the Christianity, and they can just go nuts and be devilish. It happens. But, you know, we get to a point where there's a lot of people that talk about, there's just really nothing you can say anymore. Men and women are different. Men love different. Women love different. Men seek loyalty. Women, unfortunately, are wired differently. If you're not always on your game, providing, protecting, and having her being attracted to you and stretching her emotions from left to right, for the majority of women, not all, you're going to have challenging times. It's not going to be easy. You can't maintain, I won't even say frame. You can't maintain this. You have the power in the relationship forever. She's going to get bored. That's just how they work. If you understand that, maybe you understand that marriage and cohabitation is not the right way, especially today. Oh, he did. Oh, geez, he was that old. Interesting. Any good books you recommend? I mean, I like a lot of them. Greatest Salesman in the World is great if you're into business and things like that. Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard. A lot of Alan Watts. I even like The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. But that's a very digestive book if you get into that. Greg Braden, if you like Greg Braden, like quantum physics with spirituality and ancient civilizations. The Divine Matrix is a great book. One of my favorites, Greg Braden. That kind of stuff. That we have control. We have the ability to understand who we truly are. And it's a cool book. Greg Braden, Divine Matrix. The Stones, they like the Muddy Waters, didn't they? Most women want the marriage thing. They can't handle separate residences for most part over a lifetime. That's a failure for them. Again, we're wired differently. It's very difficult to even live with my kids. I need space from my sons. They need space from their dad. The only one that doesn't want space is your dog. I would agree with that statement, Europe. A lot of them go out because their emotions are up and down. They need to satisfy hypergamy. And that's really what the emotional up and downs is. It's satisfying hypergamy. Hypergamy is not something you should hate. You should just understand that that's biologically wired within them. That comes all the way back to Eve. That's okay. That is okay. See, men get upset about women's behavior. There's nothing we can do to change it. Understand how you fit in a fantastical version of a world that doesn't exist. And when you realize you can't fit into it, then you make yourself the focus of life. I like Bruce Lee's stuff. He's good. She's manipulated by social media is the biggest. That's the steroids of women right there. Social media. They are addicted to roids. To social media roids. I mean, look at the dating apps. It's attention is the currency, but that gives them attention on a level that they're goddesses, all of them, right? They used to get along. I mean, that kind of they do. The divorced one has 4 kids. I mean, I think we have a family chat that they they'll happy birthday, so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. Or they'll like a photo of the family. We put pictures of the kids or grandkids. Come on, Wolf. This is a G-rated channel. Mental illness is a serious problem. Modern women, absolutely. There's a lot of mental illness, guys. A lot of men. I've met lots of women that have had very challenging little plastic bottles in their bathrooms and with really interesting names on them. So the ex-wife takes antidepressants, head meds, multiple different ones. It's unfortunate that people have to do it. There are people that clinically need that, but a lot of people go on it because it's a quick fix. I think that's unhealthy too. The best way for you to get out of any sort of state of complacency or just lethargic states, I don't want to say the word depressed, but just you're not feeling it, is to walk. Just to literally walk and get out in nature. But if you can't get in nature, walk. Go walk for a half hour. Be like water, shapeless. There you go. Non-resistant. Dating apps are fun for me after years. We'll see all one. Dating apps, if you look at them as entertainment, they're funny. Just read their profiles. This is a dad channel. There you go. That's right. What's wrong with Wolf? Even with your knowledge that you have now, if you time machine yourself for kids, could you outsmart your wife? No. See, people would think you could do that. You could outsmart in certain ways or keep it together longer, but it's going to be a challenge because, again, you can't maintain the attraction like that. They work differently. Their brains are different. Exercise. Well said, no one. Mm-hmm. Angel Runner. Good to see you. That's why I run every single day. Good for you. Get those endorphins going crazy. I can't remember where you're from. Exercise, read, limit views, limit the news. Well said. Get the stress out of you. Be straightforward with the woman. I've never dated a single mother who talked good about her ex-husband. I'm destroying them with only one question. If he was so abusive, why did you? I've asked that question multiple times, Europe. Seems to be a very common theme. A lot of men in the plantation try and pull red pills back in. They can even result to name calling. It's clear to me that these blue pill men are insecure and unhappy. Well, they want others to be insecure and happy, right? Even women want other women to be upset. Let's see. Alex Patino, Tommy Lauren. Is she the blonde chick? I don't know much about that, but if you're pushing that kind of stuff, you should be pushing nature and moving your body naturally. I agree with that statement. A great state of Texas, attaboy. The best is exercising and take care of your mental health. Everything is mental if you're lost in mind. I work in healthcare. So the big pharma, the way healthcare, unless you break your ankle or something, the way healthcare works is they want you to be on treatment plans, coming every 3 months for a new checkup to find something new with you. No, they don't really talk to her either because she's a real piece of work with even her brothers. She hates men. She hates her brothers. It's really sad. We can talk about that offline. They will try to destroy you. Well said. So anyhow, they want to keep you on always something. They want, okay, let's just say, we'll talk about something real quick. Apparently, you're supposed to get a colonoscopy at 45 and older now. Colonoscopies, the USA is the only country in the world that does preemptive colon screening, okay? Putting the camera up or the snare, it goes in and clicks off these polyps. And we're the only country because insurance will pay for it. It's a very invasive procedure. I'm not saying if you got it done, great. If they, whatever. Economy is important, but it's a big ticket item, and I deal with the codes and the billing and all sorts of things, and they get them in, and it's like a factory because they make so much effing money. It takes an hour to go up and scope it. to scope your colon and so forth. Very, very, I mean, it's a very invasive, lots of challenges can come out of that. Just go to Reddit forums and read about them. Brad will never get that done. Fasting, if anything, they actually have something else. If you're feeling, this is not advice, this is what I do, but if you're feeling digestive pains or seeing different colors of you know what, or a different liquid coming out that is red, then you might want to have a gastroenterologist discussion. Okay. But if everything is healthy and the the subjects look normally colored, then there's nothing to worry about. If you have any symptoms, and this is all the other countries in the world that do this. Okay. There you go. Kettlebells, attaboy. Burpees are good too. Well said. Even push-ups. Good for you, Alex, doing some. Don't invest in women. If she wants you, don't pay anything. Metal, you had yours last month. There you go. I'm not against them, but I think that it is overhyped. Shorten it to 14 inches. The problem with the colonoscopies for me, the reason I have not partaken in it, again, this is not advice, is because I believe that my regimen is much better. And I go off a lot of European and Indian doctors that do not recommend it unless certain conditions apply. Learn to live alone. It's a superpower. Well said. Yeah, I got to watch what I say, Noah. And unfortunately, YouTube is monitoring everything we say. Also, I come up with my own exercise program and call it the 300. Good for you. And if you drive trucks, you want to wear compression socks. I did compression for a while. That's what pumps your blood back to your heart and cleans your body. And if your leg is kinked like this the whole time, you know, where you're sitting, the blood is 80% less effective getting back to your heart. Hence, you'll struggle. You've had two. Okay, there you go. Do they find any polyps? You know, they find polyps in 15-year-old boys. So we're going to go on discussion on this all the time, but the issue is there is a move by the medical establishment to get people into these as soon as possible. If you have no issues, now you also have diet issues. If you're terrible with your diet, that could be probably a good preventative thing. If you don't exercise, again, something preventative, but a lot of these things you could take care of, but the medical establishment will pay for it. And it's a big ticket item for the doctor and for the ASC, which is called the Ambulatory Surgery Center that does it. 100 years ago, it was different. It can't be Reagan's fault. No. I mean, it was just, again, dynamics of life. Clean water is important when fasting. Yeah, if you can get nice spring water, legit water, go buy it especially if you're doing like a 48-hour dry fast, go spend some money on Perrier or something, like expensive water. But make sure it's not a crappy water. A lot of these a lot of these bougie waters are literally out of a tap. Yoga file. I'll have to clean that up. Yeah, I'm an English minor, so I definitely, I put it is in that own. There you go. Appreciate you. Where are you from? I've had fewer this year, says Metal Gear. I have the 3-day rule. After I blanked and she is not texting me, she'll get replaced and her number is deleted. Well, off to the races. My son had esophagitis. You have to scope for that unless they put you on some sort of inhaler. That's a difficult one. I think fasting could do well for that. It is high risk, over 40%. That's actually more than that, realist. That's probably a Christian statistic right there. The government statistics, I think, is 54%. But we know the real statistics is probably in its 60s. And a lot of marriages are divorced, they just don't know it. The best water is high in magnesium, calcium, low in Newton. There you go. I mean, there's really expensive waters you can get that are really good, but there's bougie water that comes out of California municipal supply. There you go. Like that, I think Fiji water is one of them. There's one that used to like they found some I read about it 20 years ago. It was like an iceberg that they put on a huge barge and brought it to the US, and they like made water out of it and sold it for like $10 a gallon or something, or something, I don't know, $5 for a little bottle of it. Like, what? It's sitting in a tanker, like an oil tanker type, and it's like hitting metal the whole time. And what do they do with that? Oregon and Washington have really good water supplies. Utah, not so much. Utah, we got a lot of rock mineral in it. No, yeah, they push a lot of that. They push a lot of, because it's money. It's cash money, man. It's cash money. I think men, especially as we age, how do you feel? If you're struggling with your stream, if you're having challenges with, just the way your system works, I mean, think of the health that you are in. Do you have movements every day that are similar? It's just looking at what's coming out, really, and what's going in. If you got good stuff going in, great. If you feel good, I mean, just look at the symptoms you have in life. And if you need help, then obviously go get work done. I don't take any testosterone. I take DHEA and Tonkat Ali, and I'm not 25. I'm not like Mayer either, who can bench a ton of weight, but I maintain a frame of 175 pounds, and I can lift pretty good. And I'm apparently all the guys in their 40s are on T. If you can avoid testosterone as long as possible, or any of those synthetic things, great. Take as much natural stuff as you can. Fasting is wonderful for testosterone. Sauna is wonderful for testosterone and human growth hormone. Just even cold plunges. So even though I'm in healthcare, yep, a lot of them are cheap. Even in healthcare, you start seeing a lot of this. I mean, you go to these trade shows, oh my gosh, there's a new technique that they want people to do. And if anything, there's a company called Cologuard. Yeah, they do. They do need to hit benchmarks. And my buddy's a pharma rep for a drug in the hospitals, and his company tells him he's got to sell tons of them. So he's getting these doctors to buy whatever to get these, to make their bottom line. My intellect has gone up due to the rapid questioning on the show. Thanks, Mysterio. The biggest mistake men make is focusing on distractions. Well said. Focus only on the things where you can level up. Fix your diet, sleep, and workouts. Yep. Another thing, sleep. Try to get off the your phone and internet, at least 2 hours, an hour, 2 hours before. I've had well water. Not too bad. Not too bad. My son, my youngest does. And it's cleared up a lot of his, he had some skin issues. And when he lived with me, he would fast like 18 hours, 6 to 12, like twice a week. But, at his age, 17, it was, that's as much as he needed. He wasn't a sick kid, but by no means. But anyhow, there's a company called Cologuard. You might've seen the ads on YouTube, but what happens if you drop one of your subjects into a little baggie and then they test it? And then based on that test, they'll recommend you go to see a gastroenterologist and get the scope. And if they say they don't see anything, then they're like, you don't need to worry about it. So there's other things men can do to keep in check that don't cost a lot of money. And insurance they'd rather pay that than you going in and having done and nothing's there. Now, there's also issues where men have issues, right? So they're going to have to get those taken care of. But guys, it's been a great stream. We're going to cut it off there, and I'll take Mysterio's comment. You're on the way to becoming a pilot son, a pilot dad. Could be, he just got his instruments yesterday. He's stage checked his instruments. Now he's on multi-engine. So we're stoked about that, and excited to see your kid. Not even 20. He'll be 20 here next month. Seraphim, it's good to see you, brother. Appreciate you all being here. All right. Realist, the GP is trying to get my mom to take statins, although she is well and healthy. The side effects of the meds are awful. Do they make money? Of course. I mean, biopharmaceuticals are huge. So I think you should do what feels good to you. And if something doesn't feel right, go talk to a medical provider. We'll see you guys on the next one. I'm out. Peace.